Hey, squad. What's going on, y'all? I'm so glad you came back and joined me today for another episode of Crazy. All right, so this episode is dedicated to all of the folks out there who have decided to go back to school after 40, meaning you are over 40 years old and you are going back to school. What? I know. I know. I know. Trust me. So, I, of course, myself, I'm over 40. And people always ask, well, not always, but I do get questions like, why did you decide to go back to school? How come you didn't go to school earlier and just get it out of the way? Let me just tell you a little bit about why I'm going back, why I made the choice to go back to school at this stage of the game. Okay, so I already have 2 degrees. It's not like I just didn't finish school and decided to go on to get my graduate degree at this late stage of the game. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I just want to put it out there that I do have a bachelor's degree in psychology and I have a master's degree in college and career counseling. So probably within the last 15 years or so, I've been a stay-at-home mom. But within that 15 years, I have worked off and on. I've done a variety of different things, but mainly I did some work in mental health counseling. Well, actually, I wasn't doing counseling, but I was like a case manager working with adults who had mental health issues. Oh, my phone is ringing. Okay, I just needed to make sure that that was not one of my kids. One of the things I'm going to talk about, balance. Okay, so I decided to go back to school. I had been home for about 15 years and, I had worked odd jobs here and there. But there came a point within that time span, many points actually, and maybe y'all can relate, where I felt unfulfilled. I love my children. God knows I love my children and I love my husband. I'm happy that I was able to stay home to give them the upbringing that they needed from birth until where they are now. But there was always some kind of a void, a little bit of a gap, some unfulfilled areas in my life. And I knew that there was more for me to do than just what I was doing at home. And what I was doing at home is definitely important, as I'm sure many of you out there can attest to that. But I knew that I needed to continue on with a career, entrepreneurship, something. And I wasn't exactly sure which direction I was going to go in. I knew it had to be in the counseling realm of some sort. Or even, I thought about teaching. I actually did teach. That's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. But yeah, I knew that it had to be something that was going to fill that void in my life. I decided, you know what? If I had an opportunity to go back to graduate school and if I could do it for free, I'm all over it. So here I am. I decided to go back because of that. So there are 5 things, and there's probably a whole lot more, but there's 5 important things that I think can help you if you are over 40 and are teetering, trying to figure out if you want to go back to school right now or if you don't and you're just on the fence about it. So there's 5 important things that you need to know before taking the leap and going back to school. 1, okay, you need to embrace the fact that you're over 40 and you're no longer 20. I'm just going to keep it real with y'all. Y'all, come on. I know 40 is the new 30. Some people think it's the new 25, and that's all good. You look good, you feel good. You do what you have to do to take care of yourself. But remember, Your mind is not the same as it once was. You are more mature, of course, but you've been through some things. Most of y'all, I'm sure y'all have been through some things. And sometimes you don't remember things the way you used to. So it's important to take your vitamins and do all that stuff to keep your mind right, keep your mind sharp. But just know that there is a bit of a learning curve. So when you're in your classes, this is all what I've learned. Let me just back up. So these are 5 important things that I think you should know before going to graduate school. And this is based on my experience having just completed my first semester in the spring of 2018. So based upon my personal experiences, it may be different for you guys, but I'm just sharing coming from my point of view. So there's a bit of a learning curve. And basically, you have to practice patience with yourself. It might take you a little bit longer to grasp concepts. It may take you a little bit longer to comprehend. Maybe you used to be a speed reader and now your reading is just not that speedy anymore, if you know what I mean. It may take you a while to just kind of jump back into the game and figure things out, especially depending on your prior experiences with education. Or with higher education. So if you've never been to college before and this is a very fresh start for you, then it might be a little bit of a different story, but I can't really speak to that side because I have been to college before. So for me, it's more of I graduated 20 years ago and now I'm basically exercising parts of my mind that hadn't been exercised in a minute. You know what I'm saying? So, you just got to be patient with yourself and know that it will come, but you have to retrain your brain to get back in the education game. Number 2, remember you guys, you are not alone. I know when I first stepped back into the classroom, it was crazy because I saw some students who were young enough to be my children. And then I saw those who I'm like, okay, I know he older than me. Or I know she got to be older than me. Or, you know what, we probably the same age. So I felt some sense of comfort even in the midst of being a bit uncomfortable. It was just nice to know that I'm not alone and that there's other people out there who are pursuing their dreams and going after their educational goals so that they can make a mark in this world in some different form or a different way, just like me. And that is comforting. So I hope that you know that if this is a road that you choose to go on, you are not alone. I'm here with you walking this path, and there are so many others who are doing the same. Okay, number 3. The third thing you need to know before diving into school, going back to school after 40, is you need to get up to speed with your technology. When I went to school 20 years ago, ooh, that's crazy. I keep saying 20 years ago, but it's just the truth, y'all. Yes, we had technology. I didn't go to school in the Stone Ages for you young folks out there, younger generation. But it was different. For example, we didn't have ITV classrooms. Do y'all know what that is? I'm sure that some of the younger ones probably know what it is, but I'm talking about my over 40 crew. Do y'all know what ITV classrooms are? Okay, so ITV classrooms are interactive television classrooms, and it's basically for distance learning. A lot of college campuses nowadays have what's called hybrid classes. So some of your classes will be online and some of your classes are going to be face-to-face. And some of them will be face-to-face but through ITV. So basically, let me just paint the picture. I walk into a classroom. My professor is there. This was last semester. So my professor was physically there in the classroom with me and my classmates. but she was being recorded, well, not even recorded, I guess. She was being cast through the television to another city that is also my university. Ooh, let me explain this better. Okay, so basically an ITV classroom is where the professor is either in the classroom with you, or they're in another location in that classroom, and I'm seeing them via the television, or the other classroom is seeing them via the television, and they're watching class being taught. So class is being taught basically on the television, and you have microphones at your table. It's crazy, y'all, because the whole semester I kept forgetting to push the microphone. I kept forgetting every time you talk, my classmates can hear me, but my virtual classmates, or the classmates that are way in another city also taking this class, they couldn't hear a word I was saying, but I wasn't the only one doing it, so I didn't feel that bad. So yes, you have to get up to speed with this technology, the online platforms that they have. There's something called Blackboard, and pretty much everything happens in Blackboard for my online class. So Blackboard is where you go to post for your discussion forums. It's where you go to check grades. It's where the syllabus is located, to find out about all of your assignments, due dates, test dates, quiz dates, so on and so forth. It's a whole digital interface that's super duper important in order to basically go to class. Yeah, it's a lot, but it's really not that bad. It's just one of those things that you have to know. So in my class, I know we have to do a lot of video taping, or not videotaping, video recording of ourselves. So I may be recording myself pretending like I am having a therapy session with a client. And then you have to upload that recording onto a digital platform so that the professor can see it, and sometimes our classmates can see it as well. So just get up to speed on your technology. If you have kids, trust me, they can teach you everything, because I know my kids, they know all that stuff, even the little one. Okay, number four, especially if you're still raising children, it's very, very important to create balance. Everybody say it with me, balance. And y'all know balance really looks different for everybody, because sometimes I think, is my life even really balanced? What in the hell does balance even look like? You have to learn how to create balance and practice self-care. Super duper important, especially if you're still raising children. I cannot tell you. Now, balance looks different for everyone. However, you have to create some sort of normalcy that makes sense for you in order to get it all done. So if you have children, and of course they're school aged, and then they have extracurricular activities, and then you're also in school, and you have to take care of things in the home and outside of the home, and depending on whether or not, if you have a partner, a husband, a spouse, a significant other, it's a lot, and your life can spiral out of control in a matter of minutes sometimes. But creating that balance and practicing self-care will help. So for example, make sure you have a calendar. Make sure you calendar everything. I'm talking business, pleasure, academics, extracurricular, whatever it is. Put it all on the calendar, and make sure you don't stretch yourself too thin. Self-care. Gosh, there's so many different ways that you can take care of yourself. What does that look like for you? So for me, self-care looks like exercising. I have to exercise at least 5 times a week, 5 days a week, I should say. Sometimes it's 3. It just depends on how wild and crazy my week was. But I really do push myself to get in at least 5 days a week. Also, making sure you're eating right, taking care of taking your vitamins. Make sure that you take time to do something fun and relaxing. Get a mani, get a pedi, go get your hair did. Go to the movies. Do something that's going to allow you to relax, to just release it all. Meditate. Go sit somewhere and just be in silence and solitude. Whatever that looks like for you, it is a must. Like, for real. You hear me? It's a must in order to make it through this crazy grad school life. Okay. Number 5. Hey, my favorite number 5. Establish a good support system. So basically, we all need support. You are going to need accountability. There's going to be some days where you just don't feel like doing it. There may even be some days where you think, I don't know if I can keep doing this. You need somebody to be there, or bodies, just whatever it takes for you. You need a support system. You need people in your corner who are going to rally for you and encourage you and inspire you and push you and motivate you to keep going. You also need people to keep you accountable, saying, hey, did you do your work today? Did you study? Did you write that paper? It might even be your classmates. If you don't have like a close-knit family, or maybe your family is far, from where you stay, get with some classmates. Make a friend. Make a few friends. Have study groups together. Call each other. Text each other. Video conference. There's so many different ways to establish that village, because it really does still take a village. And not just to raise a child, but just to keep ourselves together. And so if you can establish a strong support system, whether it's your husband, your wife, your partner, your spouse, I already said that, your significant others, teachers, professors, mentors, classmates, whatever it takes to help you keep going, to be lifted up and encouraged, that's important. Get with that fast. And remember, keep the end goal in mind. This is not forever. It's only temporary. So in my case, it's 2 years. 2 years out of my life. In 2 years, I'll be even better, greater, stronger, wiser, and that much more prepared to get out there and shake some things up in the world. Your program may be 3 years. Maybe it may be 4 years. But whatever it is, it's only temporary. Keep the end goal in mind. And then keep on pushing. Remember, shake the haters off, because there's going to be people who don't understand. Why you going back to school? Dang, you too old to go back to school. Or why she wait until, her kids is, one in college and the other one in high school, and then she got one in elementary. Oh, that's me. Yeah, I'm talking about my own self, because that's what people say. And I really don't care. And y'all shouldn't care either, because guess what? My journey is not their journey, and neither is your journey anybody else's journey. It's your journey. So do you, boo. Do what you gotta do. Get your education and keep it pushing. They will be asking you how you did it. Right now they're asking you why you're doing it. But trust and believe. Later, they're gonna be asking you how you did it. And you're gonna be dancing all the way like, hey, hey, and it's gonna be a celebration. So, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give me a thumbs up. Also, make sure you comment down below. Let me know if you have any questions. If there's anything else that you want to know about why you should pursue grad school, maybe it's something I didn't cover, or maybe there's something I just forgot. Go ahead and comment below and let me know. Make sure you hit the bell button. Is it a bell? Okay. Make sure you hit the bell button twice so that you won't ever miss a video when I put a new one out. And last but not least, don't forget to share this video with everyone you know, like, and love. Until I see you on the screen in my next video, peace, love, and blessings.